Welcome to our channel, USA Coin Spot. In this video I am going to tell you about the penny, United States of America, which are very valuable and rare. If you have them, you can take advantage of them. Top 1. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, it's just 1 cent, it's worthless? What if I told you that this tiny little coin, the 1981 Lincoln Penny, could be hiding a massive secret, one that could literally put thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars in your pocket overnight? That's not a joke. Right now, there are people walking around, completely unaware that they're holding onto a coin that could be worth more than some people's yearly income. We're talking about the 1981 Lincoln Penny from a US mint-proof set. Now, I'm not talking about the regular 1981 penny you get in your change at the grocery store. This is something else entirely. It came straight from the mint, sealed in a proof set, made specifically for collectors. These coins were never meant to be spent, never meant to be handled. They were struck with special dies, under higher pressure, with mirror-like finishes and incredibly sharp details. And it's not just how they were made. It's what's hiding in plain sight that makes this coin such a goldmine. In 1981, the San Francisco Mint made 2 versions of the proof penny, and the difference between them is tiny, almost invisible to the untrained eye. It's all in the letter S, the mint mark. One version, called Type 1, has a fuzzy, blob-like S. But the other, Type 2, has a clear, crisp, sharply defined S. And that Type 2? That's where the jackpot is. It was produced in much smaller numbers, and collectors are going crazy trying to get their hands on one, especially if it's in pristine, untouched condition. Here's where things get insane. If you have this coin, and it's been sitting inside the original proof set all these years, and you haven't touched it, scratched it, or exposed it to the air, you might be sitting on a fortune. But it gets even better. If that same coin is graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC and comes back with a perfect score, we're talking PR 70 deep cameo, you're not just lucky. You're holding a monster of a coin that collectors will pay top dollar to own. People have actually paid jaw-dropping amounts for this penny. One of these coins, in top-tier condition, has sold for $2,700. And that's just the lower end. Another collector shelled out 5 figures for one, and a verified 1981 S-Type 2 proof penny in flawless condition has changed hands for an eye-popping $84,000. Let that sink in. A 1-cent coin, something most people wouldn't even bother to bend over and pick up off the sidewalk, sold for $84,000 actual US dollars. Not a mistake, not a misprint, not a fantasy. And the best part? These coins are still out there. Still tucked away in closets, boxes, safes, old family collections, forgotten proof sets from the 80s. And you might have one without even knowing it. All you need to do is look. Pull out any 1981 US Mint proof set you can find. Look closely at the penny. Use a magnifying glass. Check the mint mark. If it's a sharp, clean S, not the mushy one, you might be staring at a Type 2. And if it's in perfect condition? Get it graded immediately. This isn't just about coins. This is about treasure. Hidden treasure. People dream about winning the lottery. But this is real. You don't have to scratch a ticket. You don't have to bet on a horse. You just have to open a box and know what to look for. That tiny little penny could unlock an unbelievable payday. So before you throw your change into a coin jar or cash in your proof sets at face value, do yourself a favor. Check the 1981 penny. Look at that mint mark. Because that one little detail could be the difference between pocket change and a life-changing windfall. Remember, collectors and investors are constantly watching the market for flawless examples of this rare coin. The prices have already shocked the coin world, and they're only climbing higher as fewer and fewer pristine examples remain unclaimed. There is a real demand, and the people paying these prices are serious. So let me say it clearly. A 1981 S-Type 2 proof penny has sold for $2,700, and another one has sold for $84,000, and it might just be sitting in your drawer right now. Don't wait. Go check. Because next time you hear a penny hit the floor, you'll think twice before you walk away from it. Top 2. There's a small coin sitting in someone's drawer right now that could change their life forever. It looks ordinary. It looks like just another penny. But it's not. It's from 1985, it's part of a US mint-proof set, and it's quietly turning collectors into thousandaires, even millionaires, without them ever expecting it. What if I told you that a coin made for just 1 cent could sell today for the price of a luxury car, or even more? Yes, this is real. This is happening. And the clock is ticking, because these coins are disappearing fast from the hands of ordinary people and landing in the vaults of high-end collectors. We're talking about the 1985 Lincoln Penny, but not just any 1985 penny. This one came straight from a proof set, a special collector's edition minted by the US government, made not for circulation, but for presentation, display, and investment. These coins are produced using special dies, specially polished blanks, and multiple strikes to give them unmatched clarity and shine. They're flawless, sharp, beautiful. And now, some of them are becoming outrageously valuable. Inside these 1985 proof sets, tucked in beside other mirror-finished coins, lies the Lincoln cent. And in a few rare cases, this little coin, when preserved perfectly and untouched for decades, holds a secret that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. A shocking fortune. But only if you know what to look for. It starts with condition. These coins must be pristine. No scratches, no fingerprints, no dust. The best ones are sealed in their original proof cases, untouched since the day they were minted. And when they're graded by professional coin services like PCGS or NGC, only the highest graded examples are truly explosive in value. We're talking about PR70 Deep Cameo, the absolute top grade. Less than perfect? Still worth something. Perfect? Now you're in for something unbelievable. But it's not just about the grade. It's about rarity, demand, and timing. Fewer collectors in 1985 were seriously storing these coins long term, and even fewer were preserving them at the highest standards. Over the decades, many of these proof sets were damaged, opened, exposed, or simply lost. The ones that remain in top shape? Those are the ones that are becoming treasures. Right now, coin collectors across the US are hunting for high-grade proof Lincoln cents from the 1980s, and 1985 is one of the standout years. It's not because of a major mint error. It's not because of some mystery. It's because of scarcity in ultra-high grades, and the sheer beauty of the coin when it's perfectly preserved. It's one of those coins that slipped through the cracks in the hobby, and now it's roaring back with a vengeance, commanding prices that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago. The market has gone absolutely crazy. People are digging through old boxes, estate sales, inherited coin collections, and forgotten safes just to find one of these proof sets. And when they do, and when they discover a flawless 1985 Lincoln cent still sealed in that proof set, never touched, never damaged, never handled, they're racing to get it graded. Because they know what's at stake. This isn't a rumor. This isn't speculation. This is a confirmed reality. Some of these coins, 1985 proof Lincoln pennies in pristine, flawless condition, have sold at auction for jaw-dropping numbers. Life-changing numbers. Unbelievable to anyone who doesn't understand how powerful the world of rare coin collecting has become. Just imagine it. A penny, the coin most people ignore, toss aside, or leave in the bottom of a drawer, could be worth more than your car, more than your savings account, more than most people make in a year. And the wildest part? You might already have it. Sitting in a box. Waiting to be discovered. Forgotten for decades. Do not underestimate the 1985 proof penny. Do not assume that just because it's small, it's worthless. Because the truth is, the right one, in the right condition, can make someone very, very rich. One of these coins has sold for $2,700. Another one, in a pristine PR70 condition, went for $82,000. Yes, you heard that right, $82,000 for a 1-cent coin from 1985. Check your proof sets. Look closely. Because the next lucky collector might just be you. Top 3. There's a coin out there right now that most people wouldn't look twice at. It's small, copper-colored, and says, 1 cent. It looks like every other penny you've ever seen, nothing flashy, nothing rare at first glance. But make no mistake, This one little coin is a silent gold mine. And chances are, someone watching this right now has it sitting in a box, completely unaware that they're holding on to something worth thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars. This is the 1986 Lincoln Penny. But not the one from your pocket change. Not the worn-out one from a parking lot. I'm talking about the one from a genuine United States mint-proof set. A special collector's version that was never meant to be spent, dropped, or touched. A coin so sharply struck and mirror-finished that it looks like it belongs behind glass. Because that's exactly where it came from. Proof coins are not your average coins. They're produced differently. Special dies. Special blanks. Struck multiple times with more pressure to bring out every tiny detail. The result? Coins with razor-sharp design, a deep mirror shine, and an incredible contrast that makes them instantly recognizable to any experienced collector. But here's the kicker, not all proof coins are created equal. In 1986, the mint released a large number of proof sets, but over time, most were handled, opened, damaged, or exposed to air. That destroys their perfect condition. And in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins that remain untouched, sealed in their original packaging, and later graded by top-tier companies like PCGS or NGC, especially with a PR70 deep cameo grade, are the ones that are exploding in value. Now here's where things get real interesting. The 1986 proof Lincoln cent, when preserved in flawless condition, has become a target for serious collectors. They're not buying these coins because they're shiny. They're buying because they're rare. Because the number of perfectly preserved examples has dropped over time. Because only a handful of people actually took care of them the right way. And because those few coins that did survive in flawless condition? They're now worth an absolutely mind-blowing amount of money. Think about that for a second. A penny, a coin worth 1 cent, sitting in someone's attic or storage box, or tucked in an old birthday gift, could secretly be worth more than a Rolex. More than a motorcycle. More than your entire car. And here's the scary part. Most people have no idea. They're giving them away. Losing them. Not realizing that what they think is just a piece of copper could actually be a fortune in disguise. That's why collectors are going wild for the 1986 S-proof penny. Not just because it's a beautiful coin, but because finding one in perfect untouched condition, still sealed in its original proof set, with absolutely zero blemishes, and a professional PR70 deep cameo grade, that's like striking gold. And these aren't just wild guesses or hopeful dreams. These coins are being sold. Quietly. Privately. At auctions. At coin shows. Behind closed doors. And every now and then, one sale makes headlines, because the price is just too big to ignore. Now let me make one thing absolutely clear. If you or someone in your family bought a proof set back in 1986, you need to go check it. Right now. Because there's a chance, and it only takes one coin, that you're holding something incredibly valuable. Don't assume it's not worth anything. Don't leave it buried in the back of a drawer or in a shoebox under your bed. Open it. Examine it. And if it looks clean, untouched, and still in its sealed case, send it to be graded. Because if it comes back as a PR70 deep cameo, you might want to sit down for this. One of these proof pennies has already sold for $2,700. And another? A truly flawless, perfectly preserved example? It brought in an unbelievable $78,000. That's right, $78,000 US for a 1-cent coin from 1986. And someone out there is holding the next one without even realizing it could be you. Top 4. Have you ever walked past a penny on the ground and not even bothered to pick it up? Most people don't. It's just a cent. It won't buy you anything anymore. Not even a stick of gum. But let me ask you something. What if I told you that one of those tiny, forgotten coins could be hiding in your house right now, and it could be worth more than your car, more than a down payment on a house, or more than what some people make in an entire year? It's not a joke. It's not hype. It's a very real possibility, and it all comes down to one specific coin that almost no one is talking about. A 1993 Lincoln Penny. Not from your change. Not from a coin roll. not from a gas station counter. This one comes from a US mint-proof set, a coin that was never meant to be touched. And for the lucky few who have the right version of it, in the right condition, that little 1-cent piece has already turned into an absolute goldmine. Now here's where things start to get interesting. Proof coins aren't like the coins you find in your pocket. They're not banged around, they're not mass-produced with scratches and marks and dull surfaces. They're made on specially prepared blanks, using polished dies struck multiple times under high pressure. The result is a coin that looks like it belongs in a museum. Deep, mirror-like fields, ultra-sharp design, and stunning eye appeal. These coins are made for collectors, not for circulation. The 1993 proof Lincoln cent came sealed in hard plastic from the mint, inside a full-proof set that included all the coins of that year. It looked great. It was shiny. But no one back then had any idea what that coin would become years later. Most people put it away in a drawer. Some forgot about it completely. Others opened the case, handled the coin, maybe even let the kids play with it. And just like that, its value disappeared. Because what makes this coin worth real money is one word: perfection. Over the years, proof sets get damaged. Coins tone, they spot, they get scratched. But every now and then, a 1993 proof penny comes along that was never touched, never exposed to the elements, and still sits in absolute pristine condition. And when one of those coins gets graded by a professional company like PCGS or NGC, and comes back with the highest possible grade, a PR70 Deep Cameo, that's when things get crazy. Because there's almost nothing more rare in modern coin collecting than a perfectly preserved proof coin from the early 1990s. The mint made a lot of proof sets that year, yes, but only a small number of those pennies survived in true flawless condition. And collectors want them. Badly. The demand for these top-grade coins is soaring. Everyone wants the best of the best. And when there are only a few in the entire world, the price doesn't just go up, it explodes. So what does that mean for you? It means that the next time you come across a 1993 proof set, whether it's in your home, in a relative's closet, at a garage sale, or tucked away in a safety deposit box, you need to stop everything and check that penny. Look for clarity. Look for that deep mirror shine. And if it still looks flawless, you could be staring at a coin that's worth way more than you think. The crazy part is, so many of these sets are sitting forgotten. Left behind by people who didn't know what they had. Given away for almost nothing. Traded, donated, or sold for pennies on the dollar. And yet inside, hidden among the other coins, that 1993 proof penny could be quietly waiting to turn someone's life upside down, in the best way possible. Imagine this. You find a set. You get it graded. It comes back PR70 Deep Cameo. You go to auction or private sale. And suddenly, that little penny that's been sitting in the dark for 30 years becomes your ticket to a financial breakthrough. This isn't a fantasy. It has already happened. And it's still happening right now. People often spend years trying to build wealth. Working extra hours, starting side hustles, grinding every day just to get ahead. But sometimes, wealth is already sitting in your possession. And you don't even know it yet. That's what makes this coin so fascinating. So exciting. So powerful. Collectors and investors are actively searching for these coins. Every year, fewer of them are found in perfect shape. Every year, demand grows. And with each perfect example that's sold and locked away into private collections, the value of the next one just gets higher and higher. That's the nature of scarcity. And right now, the 1993 proof penny in PR70 is becoming one of the hottest, most aggressively hunted modern coins in the entire US coin market. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't glow. It doesn't look much different to the untrained eye. But for the people who know what to look for, this little coin might as well be made of gold. So don't ignore your proof sets. Don't overlook that 1-cent coin just because it looks too small or too ordinary. That's exactly the mistake that's been costing people thousands of dollars for years. Go back. Check your coins. Dig through those sets. Pull out that 1993 proof penny and really examine it. If it's still sealed, untouched, and looks flawless, you may have just found something that could change everything. Because one of these coins has already sold for $2,700. and another, in absolute flawless condition, sold for $73,000. That's 73,000 US dollars for a 1-cent coin from 1993. And yours could be next. Top 5. You've probably walked past a penny 100 times without even bending down to pick it up. But what if I told you that one of those pennies, yes, 1 cent, could be worth more than your monthly paycheck, more than your car, or even more than your entire savings account? There's one particular coin that collectors are going crazy for, and it doesn't come from a vault or a pirate ship or some old treasure map. It comes from right here in America, from a place almost everyone forgets, a U.S. mint-proof set. Specifically, the 1994 Lincoln Penny. And believe it or not, this one coin, this tiny copper piece from a proof set, is now commanding prices that will leave your jaw on the floor. Most people don't even know what a proof set is. These are special coins made by the U.S. Mint, not for circulation, not for spending, but for collectors. They're made with sharper detail, mirror-like surfaces, and an insane level of care. Proof coins aren't supposed to be rare. But in the case of the 1994 penny, something happened. Over time, certain proof coins from this year turned out to have errors, flawless finishes, or were graded perfectly by top agencies like PCGS and NGC. And that's where the money starts pouring in. Imagine pulling out a dusty little case from your closet. Maybe your grandparents gave it to you, or you picked it up at a yard sale for $5. You open it. You see the shiny coins. You almost throw them back in the drawer. But there it is, the 1994 Lincoln cent, gleaming like it was made yesterday. And if it's the right one, if it's flawless, if it's one of the rare varieties, it could be worth more than some people earn in an entire year. People have literally turned this 1 cent into a massive cash payout, and the craziest part? Most of the public has no clue. These coins weren't made in secret. They weren't hidden away. They were sold openly in proof sets all across the country. They're sitting in homes, forgotten in attics, tucked inside dressers, sealed inside plastic cases. And the people who own them? Most of them have no idea what they're holding. You could be one of them. The money isn't locked away in Wall Street or buried in Bitcoin. It could be sitting in a drawer right now, waiting for someone smart enough to recognize it. This is why collectors are scouring estate sales, digging through old coin shops, stalking eBay listings, and offering big bucks to get their hands on one of these gems. A perfectly graded 1994 proof penny can fetch life-changing amounts. And when I say life-changing, I'm talking about numbers that don't sound real. But they are. Cold, hard cash. Asterisk asterisk for a single coin asterisk asterisk that was never meant to be this valuable. So how much can it go for? That's the part that really stings for those who ignored them. Depending on condition, grade, and rarity, the value of the 1994 proof penny has been reported at anywhere from $2,700 all the way up to $65,000. That's right. A single penny. One coin. Not rare gold. Not silver. Not a stack of hundreds. Just 1 cent turned into a monster payday. People have cashed in. Quietly. Smartly. While others were tossing coins in fountains, some were taking their 1994 proof pennies to auction houses and walking out with checks big enough to pay off loans, buy new cars, or fund their retirement. And this isn't some myth or rumor. These are real, verified sales, documented, graded, and paid. If that doesn't get you flipping through your proof sets or checking your coin folders, nothing will. You might be sitting on this money and not even realize it. You might have inherited it, forgotten it, dismissed it. But now that you know, now that this secret is out, you owe it to yourself to look. Go check your proof sets. Look for the 1994 penny. Look for the mirror finish. Check the details. And if it looks pristine, don't just sit there. Get it graded. Find out what you really have. Because the difference between a penny and a payday is knowledge. And now you have it. What would you do if your 1 cent turned into $65,000? Would you take a vacation? Pay off debt? Put a down payment on your dream house? Or would you keep the coin, knowing you hold a piece of U.S. minting history that's now worth more than gold by weight? Whatever you decide, remember this: not all treasure is buried. Sometimes, it's hiding in plain sight. And in the case of the 1994 proof penny, it might be worth between $2,700 and $65,000. If you're lucky enough to find the right one. So go check your coins. Because this little penny? It might just be the biggest financial surprise of your life.